Let's come to the second thing, second statement, right? Yeah, I want this thing, guys, to be registered into your head. That's why I'm doing like similar things now. You feel me? I just want this thing. I just want like the procedure to be to be registered in your head. I don't know if I should give you a classwork or I don't know. Let's do it together, right? So okay, we're given the following quadratic number pattern. We have 7, 4, -1, and -8. So okay, on our first question, which is question A, they are saying determine the general formula of the sequence Tn. Okay, these guys, it's just this one is it is just optional because I've explained everything on our previous question. So okay, they're saying here determine the general formula of the sequence Tn. So you have 7, 4, -1, -8. You can see that the numbering is different from our first sequence, right? So don't forget, you need to find your differences. You need to find your differences in order to determine your sequence. In whether it's a quadratic sequence, or arithmetic sequence, or series, what, you know what I mean. But we're still gonna get there. Let's just start with the grade 11 stuff, the revision. You feel me? So you have 7, 4, -1, -8. So find your differences before you can attempt the question, and don't forget to write these things. You have this is your term 1, this is your term 2, this is your term 3, and then this is your term 4, right? So in order to find this the pattern of your first difference, okay, let me just say this is our first difference. Let me just say it again. This is our second difference, right? Okay, in order to find the sequence of your first difference, what you need to do it like this: t1 minus t2 minus t1. You need to look for the number that is ahead, and minus by the number that is behind. You feel me? We have 4 minus. Here you don't look at how big the number is. No. No. You don't look at those things. When I just say the number that is ahead minus the number that is behind. You feel me? That's how you do it. That's how you find your differences. 4 minus 7 is -3. Don't forget, you always take the sign of a bigger number. You feel me? It's 4 minus 7, which is equal to -3. You feel me? This is basically 7 minus 4. But then, what? I need to, this is our term 2, and then this is our term 1, right? So here you're looking at the sign of a bigger number. You feel me? 4 minus 7. This is how you do this, guys. So then we're gonna get -3. You feel me? So this 3 comes from 7 minus 4. Because guys, I'm explaining these things because there are people that don't really understand these things. You feel me? They don't have that foundation of mathematics. You feel me? So I'm just accommodating them. You know what I mean? I'm accommodating everybody, and everyone that is going to write his metric again. Somebody, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it for those people. You feel me? But if when you understand these things, bro, like, yeah, that's good for you. But then, don't confuse other people, man. Don't, yeah. Other people also need to learn the basic stuffs. You feel me? So here's how we do it. So don't forget, in order to find your A, don't forget your general formula, how it is written. It is Tn is equals to an squared plus bn plus c. Don't forget this thing. You feel me? So okay, in order to find your A, you're gonna say, because our A is half of our second difference. It's half of our second difference. That's why they are saying 2A is equal to the second difference. And then in order to find your B, you are going to use this formula: 3A plus B is equal to first difference. And then in order to find your C, you're going to use this formula as well. A plus B plus C is equals to your first term 1, right? So let's go. Let's go. And then 2a is equals to, don't forget your 2a is equals to your second difference. And then what is our second difference? It's negative 2. It's common, right? It's common. They are the same, right? Negative 2 and negative 2. And then we leave it like that. You don't go further and say negative 2 minus negative 2. You feel me? Because already you are done. Because you've already found your common number on this in this sequence. You feel me? So your 2a is equal to negative 2, right? Your second difference. And then you're going to divide both sides by 2 in order to be left with a, right? So your a is going to be negative 1, right? So let's go and find our b. Our b, you're going to use this formula. 3a plus b is equal to negative 3. Your negative 3 is your what? Your first difference, right? It's the first term of your first difference. Let me put it that way. The first term of your first difference. The first term of your first difference, which is negative 3, right? So 3 and 2, you already found your a is negative 1 plus b is equal to what? Your negative 3, ne? So then b needs to be left alone. Like this b, I can see like we're finding b, ne? Our b is now an alpha. You feel me? It needs to be the boss. It needs to be the boss. We focus on him. You feel me? It's like we're protecting him. You feel me? So you're gonna say 3 multiplied by negative 1 is going to give us a negative 3. It will give you a negative 3. So then you're going to transpose this negative 3 to the other side, and then it will give you a positive 3. You feel me? So then you're going to be left with b is equal to 0 because it's minus 3 plus 3. Don't forget that I guess you have the different signs here, ne? You have different signs. Like this is basically 3 minus 3. But then it was just written like this. You feel me? But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Always take the sign of a bigger number. But then here the signs are the same and the numbers are also the same. Then you're gonna have the 0. You feel me? B is equal to 0. And don't forget to punch your calculators, guys. Don't forget to use your calculators. So then, in order to find your constant, which is c, you're going to use this formula. A plus b plus c is equal to your first term. Your T1, your first term. Alright, so as I was saying, in order to find your constant c, you are using this formula. A plus b plus c is equal to your first term 1. In your first term, you're going to look at your quadratic number pattern. You're going to look at this one. Okay, let me just say this one because I've already labeled everything. So you have your T1, T2, T3, and T4. You're going to look at this one. Your T1 is what? Your 7. So in place of T1, you're going to place 7. You feel me? So you already have your A and you already have your B. Your A is what? Negative 1. Plus your B was what? 0. And then plus what? C. The C was not given, right? I mean, like the C is the variable that we are looking for, right? You have your T1, which is 7, right? So then you're going to transpose negative 1 to the other side. You can't say 0 to the you can, but then it won't help you, dog. You're still going to find the same answer. 0 is 0. So negative 1 to the other side is going to be positive. So it will be C is equal to 7 plus 1, right? So your C will be 8. So then you are done. So then here's how you're going to write your general formula. Your Tn is equal to an squared plus bn plus c. Once what? Is equal to what? Your a. Your a is what? Negative 1. You see, your negative 1 multiplied by n squared, like it's negative n squared vele, and then your b was 0, and then b 0 times n. 0 times any number is 0. You feel me? So then plus c. Your c was what? 8. And then you found your general formula. Here's your Tn. Tn is equal to minus n squared plus 8. Here's your general formula. So the questions that are going to follow you're going to use this formula, you feel me, for those questions. So okay, that's saying, guys, you can see which term has a value of negative 2696. So they're saying which term. It means like you're going to yeah, we are looking for your n. Do you get me? This one is our Tn. This is your value. And then don't forget that your Tn is your what? Your value. Don't forget that Tn is your what? Your value. So okay, here's how we're going to do it. You're still going to use that general formula into this question. Your Tn is equal to negative n squared plus 8. So then your value was what? Your Tn is negative 2696. So you are going to place him here. Is equal to negative n squared plus 8. You feel me? So then, just because your n is negative, and then we need to find n. Just take n to the other side, and then this one to the other side. They need to oppose one another so that we can have n squared alone. This will help us find n. You feel me? So because we have n squared, you need to introduce square roots on your both sides, and as you introduce your square roots, you're going to have a value that is positive and a value that is negative always. You feel me? So just because you introduced these square roots, the square root, you introduce it both sides. Like what you do on your left hand side, you also do it on your right hand side. So your square root cancels the 2 here, and then you're going to be left with what? Your n. So then here you're going to find two values, which are these ones. But then don't forget that you need the positive value. So your n will be 52. The positive 52, not the negative 52. You feel me? Don't forget that. Your n always needs to be positive. So okay, let's go to our B. Yeah, it's our C. What is the value of term 83? Don't forget, use that equation, that formula. Tn is equal to negative squared plus 8. And then on your n you always replace it because it is a term. And here we're looking for what? For a value. We're looking for that Tn. You feel me? We're looking for the value. The Tn. But don't forget, the n represent the term number. The term number. And we're given our term number, which is what? 83. This is our term number. This is our term number. So in place of n, we're going to place 83. But yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, Mara, it's safe doing it like this because you will know that this is your term 83. You feel me? The value of your term 83. You feel me? So in place of n, we're going to place 83 because because we're looking the value of this term 83. You know what I mean? So we are going to place 83 squared plus 8. You feel me? So then T83 is equal to what? Negative 6881. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The sign doesn't matter. But when it comes to n, the n positive always. When you find the value of n, it's always positive. This one, the negative here, don't mind it because this is our general formula. We're using it, but your n, it always needs to be positive. You feel me? So okay, I think we're done. Okay, let me just show you these ones also. These ones, yeah, because these ones they tend to like confuse people. You feel me? It's confuse about and so fun and so. That's why I also did this one because the numbering here is not the same. That's why I did it also so that I can explain to you. No, bruh, this thing is always the same. The procedure, the principles, the steps. You feel me? They're always the same. When I just need to have that foundation of mathematics, you feel me? Always have it, doc. Always have it. The BODMAS rules, know those things. You feel me? So okay, here we're given quadratic number pattern which has a second difference of negative 10. So here you're already given your second difference. Let's just underline it. Second difference of negative 10. And then here's our quadratic number pattern. It is given, right? So don't forget that thing, like you need to, when you determine the general formula, you need to find your differences. You need to find your differences. So here's how we do it. Guys, because now I'm already ahead. I already did these things. So here's how you do it. You minus, you say the term that is ahead minus the term that is behind. You feel me? 3 minus 7 is what? Negative 4. And then x minus what? 3. It's gonna give you this one I've already calculated everything, but let me just show you guys how we do it. Hey, I forgot. So here's how we do it. 3 minus 7 is negative 4, right? And then you're gonna say x minus 3 is x minus 3 already, and then y minus x is y minus x, because these ones are variables, they are not numbers. You can't say x minus 3, like you can't find the value here, and you also can't find the value here, because these things are still the variables. You feel me? So these are first difference. These are our first differences, right? So you need to find your second difference, because you're already told that this is a quadratic number pattern, right? So here is how you are going to do it. You are going to say, we found our first difference, right? You are going to say the second term as a whole minus negative 4. You feel me? Here's how we do it. Negative, okay, x minus 3 minus into negative 4, right? And then you're going to say y minus x minus into x minus 3, which is this one. You feel me? So here you're going to work out these ones and also these ones. So you're going to say x, and then you work out this one, punch in your calculators, and then you're going to find plus 1. You feel me? So then okay, as I was saying, I was dealing with this question, right? This one, and I think I was somewhere here, right, where you say your last term on your first difference minus your your previous term on your first difference, right? So here's what you're gonna get: y minus x minus, because by this minus you're multiplying everything that is inside the brackets, right? You have negative x, and then negative multiplied by negative is what? Is positive. So then you're gonna have positive 3, right? So here's how you do. Here's how you go further. Okay, here's the thing in here. Don't forget, this is our second difference. Here we were working on our second difference, right? So we found everything that we needed. We have our x plus 1. This is our simplified value, and also here is our final value of our second difference, right? So we are going to look at these two things here. You are going to look at this term and also this term. You get me? But here it's a thinking of like, okay, this one was not simplified yet. It is equal, so let's just simplify it further. It will be, okay, let me just write this arrow. It will be y minus 2x plus 3, because it's a negative x minus x. These are like terms. Don't forget the like terms, guys. And when you it's a negative and a negative, just know that you are adding. Here is minus x minus x, you are adding, and x like terms. You feel me? So you're gonna have minus 2x, because you have 2x's value here, but the sign will be the same as the previous signs. You feel me? That's how you do it. Like, guys, remember this thing is, don't forget this thing is, man. Hey, don't forget, when you are saying negative multiplied by negative is always positive. Negative multiplied by positive is equal to negative, right? Don't forget these things. You feel me? Don't forget it. So don't forget. Okay, look at your statement, guys. Given quadratic number pattern which has a second difference of what? Of negative 10. It means it means that x plus 1, this term, will be equal to negative 10, because as a whole this thing is our second difference. And also here, this is your second difference. This second difference will be equal to negative 10, because like as I've said before, guys, read your statements and understand them. You feel me? You're giving your second difference. It's negative 10. It is given. So look, ufika got these questions, got this thing is when you find your first difference and your second difference. So then after that, that's when you are gonna work out your question. You feel me? So x plus 1 is equal to negative 10. So your x is equal to what? Negative 11. Already have your x. And then here, y minus 2x plus 3 is equal to what? Negative 10. Because these two are equal. I mean, like, this one is equal to negative 10 because they are both our second differences. Don't forget here, I've said this one was our second difference. We're working on our second differences. You feel me? But already we're given the what? The second difference. Our second difference was what? Negative 10. But because we did not have the values here and here, we work out our first differences and our second differences. So on your second difference, because you already given your second difference, which is equal to 10. So then kumile like your second difference using this sequence, this number pattern. So then you are going to take your second difference and then equate it to this negative 10, because you don't have x and you also don't have y. So this thing will help us determine our x and our y. You get me? So you have your x, you have your y. So then you have your x, you have your y. What are the replacer here? The replacer here. On our x, what was our x? Negative, it was negative 11, right? Okay, it's a negative 11, and your y is what? Negative 35. So then when you say 3 minus 7, you're gonna get negative 4, right? So then say minus 11 minus 3, you're gonna get negative 14, right? So then minus 35 minus negative 11, you're gonna get negative 24. This is your first difference. This is how you do it, guys. Like, don't attempt the questions before doing this. First, do these things, because you need to find your values, your x and y. Find these values, and by finding these values, you need to work out your differences. You need to find your first difference and your second difference. So here's how we prove that our second difference is definitely negative 10. And its value, we have our x and our y. So then we're able to find the values of our first differences. We have negative 4, negative 14, and negative 24. So we have our first difference, right? So then let's find our second difference. Our second difference value, it was given value, it was negative 10. So okay, let's prove that. Negative 14 minus 4 is what? It's negative 14 minus yeah, it's minus 4, right? Negative 14 minus 4 is 10. It was gonna give us 18, bruv. Don't forget, guys. Hey, mina anpa zai di man. Okay, this is our cause Sanborn, no, this thing was not making sense. Okay, we have our -4 here, don't forget it, and then we have our -14, -24. Name this is our first difference. Let me just write it like this, and then let's find our second differences. So -14 minus -4 is -10. Punching, like, in order to find this thing is like, use your calculators. -14 minus -4, like -14 minus into -4. You do it like this: -14 minus into -4, and then it will be -14. Negative multiplied by negative will be positive, and then negative, you always take the sign of a bigger number, and the sign of a bigger number is negative, which lies on 14, right? So it's negative. So and then 14 minus 4 is what? 10. You feel me? So here's our second difference. Second difference, right? And we all like -24 minus -14, you're still gonna get the same thing in. You feel me? So here's how we go further. Here's how we go further. You feel me? So your second, here's how you find your A, here's how you find your B, and here's how you find your C also. You get me? So in order to find your A, you're saying 2A is equal to your second difference. In order to find your B, you're going to say 3A plus B is equal to your first difference. In order to find your C, A plus B plus C is equal to your first term. You feel me? So our A was what? Look, 2A is equal to our second difference is what? It was already given, -10. What? So A, and then -10, you divide by 2. You divide by 2 both sides, and then you're gonna have A as -5, and then it's 3A. You know your A, and then in place of A put -5, then plus B is equal to your first difference. Your first difference is what? -4. Come here. We have our first difference. We have the term on our first difference, the first term on our first difference, which is -4. So we're going to place him here. So in order to find your B, our B was what? 11, right? So -5 plus 11 plus C is equal to 7. Here it is our A plus our B plus C is equal to what? Our first term, right? So our A is -5. Already found A right here, right? And then our B, already found B here, right? It's 11, right? So then plus C is equal to 7, and then you transpose these values to the other side, and then you are going to be left with C is equal to 1. You know what I mean? And then when you take these ones to the other side, they always change signs. I can see here 5 was negative, and then to the other side it will be positive. Plus 11, here it was positive, and then on the other side it will be negative. Or maybe you can just work out these ones and then take that value that you have found here and then transpose it. That's how you do it. So then you have your general formula here. Tn is equal to an squared plus bn plus c is equal to -5n squared plus 11n plus 1. In place of a, you put -5. In place of b, you put 11, because already 11 is positive, so you don't have to change the signs and stuff like that. And then your c is also positive. It's 1, your constant, and then you are done. You feel me? And then let's just call it a night, gents. Okay, and I also wanna show you how these things work, guys. I also wanna show you this thing, because they are very tricky but simple, guys. They are just like, they are tricky but simple. When I just follow the procedures, follow the steps, follow the key points, those things that you are taught in class, just listen attentively and then put that into practice. You feel me? So okay, quadratic pattern has the following characteristics. Okay, our term 1 is what? P. Term 2 is what? 18. Then our term 4 is what? 41. And then our term 3 minus T2 is equal to 10. And then alright, here's how we do it. Here is how we do it. You have P as your T1, right? You have 18 as your T2. we don't know our term 3. Our term 3 is still in question. We don't know term 3. So then we have term 4, which is 4 T1. And then you already have your T1. Your T1 is what? Is P, ne? So then in place of T1, you're going to put P. And then it's 4 multiplied by P. You feel me? We don't have term 3. But here we're given term 3 minus term 2 is equal to 10. But you can find your term 3. Your term 3, you can just do it like this. Term 3 is equal to 10 plus T2. What is your T2? Your T2 is what? Is 18, right? Your T2 is 18. So then in place of T2, you're going to place 18. So then your term 3 is what? Is 30? 35, right? So then you have, okay, let me just say P 18, and then our term 3 is what? 85, and then 4P. You feel me? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Yeah, is it what? What did I say? 35? No, it's not 35. It's 10 plus 18, man. It's 28. 28, not 35. 28. Yes, it's 28. It's 28. So, okay, our first question is, like I've said, guys, before you can attempt the questions, first do this. You feel me? So that you can understand your following questions much better. You feel me? So, okay, on our question A, determine the value of P. So, okay, we need to find P, right? We need to find P, right? So, our term 3 value is 28, right? So, okay, let's just come to our sequence, right? Because we have P as our first term, we have 18, 28, and 4P, right? So, always, guys, look for your differences. Look for your differences. When you want to work out the sequences, always find your first difference and your second difference. So, okay, here we have term 1, term 2, term 3, and this is our term 4, right? So it's 18 minus P. It's 18 minus P. This is our, okay, this is the first term of our first difference, right? So, okay, 28 minus 10. Oh, it's what? 18, eh? 28 minus 18. Yeah, it's 18. We have 10 as our second term of our first difference. So then we're going to have T4. T4 minus T3 is 4P minus 28, right? So we're done with our first difference. Okay. So then let's come to our second difference. So it's 10 minus previous number. You take this one as a whole. Because it's a minus, you need to put that inside brackets. It's 10 minus into 18 minus P. You get me? So then 10 times okay, negative, okay, it's 10 negative. Okay, this negative will multiply everything that is inside the brackets, right? It will be negative 18 and then positive P. But then 10 minus 18 is what? Negative 8. You always take the sign of a bigger number. So then it's 10 plus P. No, not 10 plus P. This negative is the one that we're using. Is negative times negative is what? Negative P. Because these ones, they are numbers, they are values. So we'll work them out and then we'll find negative 8, right? So negative P, the P doesn't have a friend, right? So we'll leave him as he is. So here we're gonna say 4P minus 28 minus 10. 4P minus 28 minus 10. Then we're gonna find 4P minus 38 is minus 28 minus 10. This is basically adding. You are adding numbers here, but you always take the sign of a bigger number. It's 28. It's negative 28 minus 10, and then negative 38, right? So all right, so here's how we're gonna do it. Here's what we're gonna do it. So in order to find your P, we'll see this is our second difference, right? This is our second difference. So on your quadrant, it's quadratic number pattern, you know that your second difference is common. It is always the same. The number is the same. So that's why we equate negative 8 plus p to 4p minus 38. That's why we equate them. Here they are. It is because the second difference on our quadratic number pattern is the same. That's why we equate them. So here we're able to find our p. So it's negative 8 plus p is equal to 4p minus 38. Minus 8, and then you take the 38, the like patterns. Like the like numbers, the like terms, you put them together. Here's how we do it. Negative 8, we have him on our left hand side, and then you take the negative 38 and then to the other side, and then you're gonna have like either way, but like you need to be left with p alone. You know what I mean? Like put the like terms together so that you can work out the values. You feel me? You have minus 8 plus 38 is equals to, and then 4p, and then you take this p and then you minus it to this one, so then you're gonna be left with 3p. You feel me? It's 4p minus p actually, so then you're gonna be left with 3p. So then here minus 8 plus 38, you're left with 30. So in order to be left with p alone, you need to divide both sides by 3 so that you can be left with p alone. So then your p is what? It's 10. You're done. And then it's shy. It's gone. This is what I wanted to show you guys, and then okay. You feel me? So then this is your boy the deck. Cannot be for many. The boy doing things. Away, let's go.